when Chrisean Rock revealed something so startling that it caught Blueface completely unprepared. In front of everyone's eyes, it flipped his entire life upside down. The audience fell silent. Online platforms were incredulous, and cameras were focusing harder. Spectators posed the same query. Was that what she just said? This wasn't your typical passionate argument or simply another episode of their highly visible turmoil. Destructive, accurate, and purposeful. An explosive truth bomb that instantly damaged Blueface's reputation, clouded his career, and even called into doubt his future freedom. It is not just another clumsy headline that we are seeing. Long-buried secrets, betrayals concealed in the eye's eye. Shadows, and a revelation so significant that insiders are already referring to it as the end of Blueface's career are all being unearthed. The man who made a name for himself on controversy may have finally walked into the one scandal he cannot avoid if Chrisean Rock's remarks have any validity to them. The worst part is still to come. According to sources, what she revealed was merely the prelude to larger revelations that would follow. This is the straightforward question that everyone is asking. What specifically did she say? Why is this period being referred to as the tipping point for Blueface's future? This was not the typical scene of tense disputes, frantic live dreams, or dramatic charges. This time, Chrisean took a measured approach. Her voice did not rise, nor did she punch. Her truth was like a weapon that exploded, and it affected more than just Blueface's bruised dignity. It destroyed the foundation of his reality itself. To fully understand the significance of this moment, we must go back in time to their tale. For years, Chrisean and Blueface have been caught up in a whirlwind of romance, commerce, and conflict. It was a romance with blinding highs and catastrophic lows. They produced a never-ending cycle of public outrage, messy headlines, viral moments, and chart-topping drama at reconciliations and splits. However, beneath all of that turmoil, there were accusations of toxic manipulation, controlling contracts, infidelity, fabricated disputes, and even hidden pregnancies. Up until today, they had little proof of the darker realities they suspected. For when Chrisean grabbed the microphone during a recent appearance, she didn't burst into tears or lose her temper. She exposed it all. For the first time, Blueface was unable to manage the damage and change the tale. The location was incredibly meaningful. Their story initially started to fall apart in Los Angeles. On stage, shirtless, Blueface was in his element, thrilling the audience and living up to his self-made reputation as the unrepentant villain of hip-hop. And then suddenly, Chrisean appeared. The crowd clapped initially, anticipating another trick. However, a single look at her face revealed a different tale. This wasn't just for show. This marked the start of the reckoning. It wasn't the impetuous, erratic Christian fans had become accustomed to it. She entered the platform with a composed, collected demeanor. Each motion is intentional. Suddenly the music stopped, and she grabbed the microphone. Blueface attempted to dismiss it with a tense laugh, but then she uttered the words that caused the arena to fall silent. "I have the evidence that you use lies to build your empire." The crowd let out a few gasps. Everyone fell into a startled silence as phones exploded into the air. Nobody could predict what would happen next. Chrisean started talking, revealing things that had been circulating as rumors for a long time in a steady voice. She made reference to the infamous contracts, which were the subject of extensive fan speculation but never seen. She claimed that Blueface forced her to sign contracts that gave him authority over her music, live streaming, and even public persona. She asserted that all of her public displays of passion, arguments, and tears had been exploited without her permission. She was far from done, though, leaving the audience stunned. Chrisean alluded to something even more sinister, a sinister mystery connected to Blueface's personal life. Her statements implied a revelation so profound that it may destroy not only his profession, but also the basis of his personal life, albeit she did not explicitly state it. The audience burst into chaos, the atmosphere charged with astonishment and excitement as the stage became the focal point of a tempest that would reverberate long beyond that evening. Applause broke out from some supporters who were impressed by her bravery. Others jeered in disbelief at how swiftly the event had devolved into an unplanned public trial. Blueface sprang for the microphone, but he was unable to control the moment. The live stream displayed every word, cameras rolled, and the internet went wild as her revelations spread like wildfire across screens all over the world. The story had been told in a familiar manner for years. Chrisean called the unpredictable, sentimental girlfriend, but Blueface was cast as the cool-headed, shrewd orchestrator. But that story fell apart in a heartbeat. Chrisean reframed herself as someone who had suffered deliberate exploitation rather than as a victim of her own, suffering with a single epiphany. He could not have been at a more disastrous time. Blueface had been dealing with legal issues, difficult family relationships, and constant media attention for a long time. Although his brand had always been driven by controversy, this exposure was something new. According to Chrisean and the supporting documentation, this was more than just a rapper embroiled in a public scandal. She said that he had purposefully created turmoil by influencing events to stay profitable and relevant, now that meticulously built empire seemed to be coming apart. The astonishment was not limited to those in Los Angeles. The whole music industry was affected. Hashtags like Ej or Chris exposes Blueface and exposed went viral all across the world in a matter of minutes. As TikTok producers pieced her comments into millions of reaction videos, gossip blogs rushed to broadcast snippets of her speech, transforming the revelation into an unavoidable digital tidal wave. The conjecture on Twitter about what Chrisean had implied about the Blueface family was intense. According to insiders, she had been hiding far more shocking data, and her announcement was just the first step. Contracts prepared to be dropped, in future strikes, recordings, and screenshots. If accurate, Blueface's ordeal had progressed beyond mere public humiliation. His whole career might be on the line. Chrisean had done more than just make him seem bad. She had detonated a bomb, and the shaking was only beginning. At the performance in Los Angeles, fans had come anticipating a celebration. Bottles popping, bass booms, and Blueface's trademark arrogant smile. The atmosphere changed, however, when Chrisean took the microphone. The performance turned into a live trial, and her testimony was more in-depth than anyone had expected. Not only did her remarks damage Blueface's reputation, they destroyed it. Chrisean offered a text thread as a devastating piece of evidence, after accusing him of using falsehoods to create his empire. The Jumbotrons broadcast it to the arena after she looked through her phone and held the screen up to the camera. At first, the words were unclear, but they quickly became distinct. Every time Chrisean lost her temper, Blueface's views increased, and his income tripled, he wrote to a buddy. The internet was ignited by that line. I can get along without her rapping. I simply want her to get mad. The audience burst out. Some booed, some cheered. However, what she said next was the true shock. She alluded to the final betrayal. Chrisean claims that in order to finance a second home, perhaps providing for a second woman. The audience erupted, in speculations, screaming ex-partner names and conjecturing about a secret partner, even though she did not name her. Chrisean resisted as Blueface reached for her phone, sending tension skyrocketing. Uncertain whether they were seeing a confession or breaking up a brawl, security hurried to the stage. Then, the tweet-igniting line appeared. You told me and everyone else that you were still living with her. Momentary videos quickly went viral on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. The identity of the enigmatic woman was the subject of continuous speculation among fans. Some assume a hidden girlfriend, some say it might be someone completely different, and some point to long-standing ex-girlfriend Jaden Alexis. Just minutes after the event concluded, an anonymous account posted what looked to be receipts from a joint company account, along with bills for housing and utilities associated with a San Bernardino property that wasn't registered in Chrisean's name. Her allegations appeared to be supported by the evidence. The public and Blueface fans were left in shock by the disclosure. The Blueface answer just made matters worse. The caption for the photos said, "She told the truth. He has been hiding this for years." He picked up another microphone and launched an assault rather than leaving or ducking backstage. Although his confidence did not falter, his voice did. You all take her word for it. She is sensitive. She is intoxicated. She is telling lies. She was created by me. She doesn't make me, he yelled, almost drowned out by the drunkenness of the gathering. The fans chanted liar at him right away. Blueface was truly shaken for the first time in years, as the live stream discussion erupted with comments like, "We saw the receipts. Your empire is finished." The next shock from Chrisean came just when it seemed that the mayhem could not get much worse. She looked him in the eyes and said, You may call me insane if you want, but the court will not accuse me of being insane when I give them the recordings. The arena exploded. Audio recordings. People speculated about the type of proof she had, and social media and the crowd both erupted into a frenzy. Blueface frantically attempted to conceal the audio, video, and other evidence. Less than an hour later, a leaked video appeared on Twitter. For 15 seconds, Grainy was unmistakably recorded on a phone. When Blueface and another man were heard chuckling, Blueface said, "I make more money when she cries than when she sings." The internet exploded as the audience in the video gasped. There was no denying the impact by dawn. TMZ headlines shouted. It is said that Blueface made money off of Chrisean's suffering. Startling recordings appear. Complex followed suit with other sources. If the tapes were real, Blueface's career had officially started to take a nosedive, and the magnitude of the revelation astounded both fans and the music industry. The Shade Room distributed a brief video with the remark, "Who y'all hearing this?" sparked an online firestorm. Not all of the reactions were from gossip blogs, though. Immediately, sponsors began to distance themselves. A significant sneaker company reportedly put a halt to ongoing talks with Blueface, citing reputational risk. The website that made Chrisean and Blueface famous, Zeus Network, also became unusually silent and removed advertisements for the rapper's next projects. Finally, Blueface tweeted something mysterious to break his silence. "This is something she will regret." The criticism came immediately. Numerous responses questioned whether his career was over and accused him of manipulation and abuse. Chrisean was urged by fans to make the complete tapes available right now. Insiders then dropped the bombshell. In an interview with the gossip blog DMD, a former assistant claimed that Chrisean wasn't bluffing. Hours of taped arguments, contracts, and discussions described how Blueface handled her and other people. "Ladies, if she releases them, it's over," the blog said, verifying the veracity of the tape. The world was now waiting as Blueface's meticulously constructed empire began to tremble. Already the texts had surprised me. The recordings were on a whole new level, but the financial receipts were incriminating. The first 15-second footage appeared online just hours after Chrisean made a suggestion about their existence. It was distinct but blurry. "I make more money when she cries than when she sings," Blueface said, laughing with another man. The comment went viral on social media. Chrissy became a global craze in a matter of minutes. The video was reenacted by TikTok users. Twitter was inundated with memes, and supporters called for the complete tapes to be made public. Later that evening, 3 bombshell audio files were posted on fan forums via an anonymous Dropbox connection. Clips 1 and 2 are audio proof, a contract call, and a last warning. Clip 1 verified the notorious 15-second chuckle. The second clip showed a purported phone conversation between Blueface and his management in which he boasted about Chrisean's contract having a meltdown clause. He made money each time she cried on video. However, clip 3 broke the internet. Social media exploded when Blueface was heard stating, "She thinks she's my partner, but she's really just my product. Then keep her around until the baby's old enough for its own storyline," said another voice who was likely the manager. The online community became a virtual battleground as fans swung from being in awe to fury. The years-long spectacle that Blueface had produced had now become overwhelming evidence against him. One tweet quickly became a viral sensation. "There is no linkage here. Trafficking in plain sight is what it is." Blueface was charged by fans with more than just exploitation. He had been making money off of Chrisean's motherhood, they said. Social media was flooded with calls to cancel him. Media. Celebrities offered incisive remarks in response. Cardi B wrote, "This is why women stay silent until it is too late. They sign away their souls for love." Lil Nas X posted a meme of himself ripping up a contract with the caption, "Me after reading the meltdown clause." Nicki Minaj followed suit with the succinct but scathing statement, "A woman is not a storyline." In just one day, her post received almost 2 million likes. Finally, under increasing pressure, Blueface addressed the leaks. However, instead of offering an apology, he became defensive during a live Instagram broadcast that was viewed by more than 300,000 people. His mood betrayed him as he rejected the tapes as manufactured, saying, Y'all really think I am stupid enough to say that out loud? These are spliced clips, altered voices, and deep fakes. She is making me out to be the villain because without me, she is nothing. His hands and face were strained, voice cracking, fidgeting. He once cut the stream short when he was interrupted by a phone call. It was brutal in the comments. He's telling lies. He simply made himself more vulnerable, extremely guilty. Then, a further development sparked more conjecture. Chrisean had alluded to a family secret. Blurry pictures of Blueface coming and going from a suburban house late at night were shared on a local Los Angeles gossip page. It was a distinct property, not Chrisean's home or his public palace. The house might have belonged to someone from his past, according to the caption. Immediately, fans speculated that it was his other children's mother, Jaden Alexis. All of a sudden, everything came together. On stage, Chrisean revealed the betrayal, the second property, and the covert payments. The image was finished. An intricate arrangement that connected years of secrets and a life she had paid for. Deceit and manipulation. Another surprise surfaced as online arguments raged over who lived in that enigmatic suburban house. According to a neighbor who spoke to a tabloid, they regularly witnessed Blueface showing up at strange times, constantly on the phone, and frequently arguing before entering the property. The industry, however, was quickly moving against him. BAT decided not to attend their forthcoming awards pre-show. In a statement, a major beverage brand said, "We do not support exploitation or abuse in any form." Spotify also took him off of 2 official playlists, and Zeus Network, which had made a tidy profit from the turbulent drama between Blueface and Chrisean, finally issued a subdued acknowledgement. We are now looking into the claims and assessing the programming choices we made for each of the parties. The network received immediate criticism from fans who pointed out the delayed reaction. However, the disclosures did not end there. Exactly. That evening, an enigmatic Twitter account shared what looked to be the opening page of a draft lawsuit: Jonathan Porter versus Chrisean Malone, her given name versus his. The paper demanded millions of dollars in damages and described claims of financial pressure, emotional abuse, and purposeful distress. Fans were stunned by one line at the bottom: more than 6 hours of recorded discussions and video recordings will be made available in discovery as additional evidence. The 3 leaked clips, if true, were only the beginning of what might end up ruining Blueface's career. By 3 a.m. A few minutes later, Blueface replied with a mysterious black screen post that read, "You aren't ready for what I got." Chrisean broke her silence once more by sharing a picture of herself holding her son on Instagram with a small smile on her face and the caption, "The truth will protect us." The next chapter was now set. This is no longer a celebrity if the 6 hours of recordings are real and a lawsuit has already been filed. Quarrel. It's a full-fledged conflict that might totally ruin Blueface's reputation and career. Worst of all, there were reports that Chrisean had not yet disclosed her most explosive secret. One of the year's most intense and divisive conversations had taken over the entertainment industry by the morning following her bombshell stage revelation. Videos of her revealing Blueface, purported manipulation, and unreported payments were widely circulated, turning what had previously been written off as poisonous drama into a significant scandal with real repercussions. Social media went crazy. As millions of people analyzed every second of the leaked recordings, hashtags like #ChrissieTapes, #Blade Exposed, and #Justice Fortune trended simultaneously on Twitter. 2 groups of fans emerged. People continue to call Chrisean untidy and attention-seeking, while others celebrate her as a survivor who is finally escaping. Many people's sentiments were encapsulated in a single viral post. This is evidence. It is not theatrics. Blueface boasted about taking advantage of her. Put an end to accusing her of voicing her opinions. Critics countered that she could not back out of the contracts once she had signed them because she had accepted them and understood the risks. Supporters and critics engaged in constant combat in the comment sections, which turned into battlefields. The voices of celebrities fueled the flames. Cardi B redoubled her efforts, telling her 25 million followers, "This industry eats women alive. You all laughed at her pain until she showed receipts. Now everybody quiet." Nicki Minaj's subtweet was subtly directed at Blueface, saying, "Men turn love into contracts and cry when the truth burns." Lil Baby also took Chrisean's side, posting on Instagram stories, "If those tapes are real, Buddy is done." Yet not everyone agreed. Charlemagne the God weighed in on The Breakfast Club, claiming, "Look, it's nasty." However, they both profited. She gained notoriety, and he gained wealth. And she now pretends she didn't agree to it. Sparked a backlash from activists and other celebrities who denounced the apparent victim blaming. The industry reacted quickly and decisively. BT discreetly removed Blueface from their pre-show lineup. Spotify removed his songs from 2 major playlists, including Rap Caviar. YouTube imposed age restrictions on almost all of his content after public complaints. And Zeus Network, which had made money off of the pair's messy public saga for years, deleted multiple posts promoting their joint reality series. A move criticized by fans who labeled it cowardly. Zeus had long fueled the chaos for clout, but the moment it backfired, the network scrambled to save face. One viral TikTok perfectly captured it. Zeus built a circus and now acts shocked. The lions are biting. Meanwhile, Chrisean's supporters were organizing quickly. A GoFundMe campaign called Protect Chrisean Legal Fund went viral overnight, raising over $400,000 in just one day. TikTok edits of her saying, "The truth will protect us," went viral and soundtracked thousands of fan-made videos. Some supporters even projected her face and the hashtag #RightJustice4Chrisean to the side of the BET building in Los Angeles. She had gone from being a controversial figure to a symbol of resistance against industry exploitation, but a dark cloud hung over the entire story, the Airbnb video that Blueface had threatened to release. Rumors circulated like wildfire, with some speculating that it showed Chrisean in a vulnerable private state, others speculating that it contained evidence of her retaliating against him, and some whispering that it showed a violent altercation between them. Whatever the truth, everyone agreed on one thing. If Blueface released that footage, it could a mysterious hacker organization known as the Watchdogs entered the mix as speculation reached a fever pitch, posting cryptically on Instagram with the warning, "If he drops the Airbnb tape, we drop everything else." The group's goal was to either turn public sentiment back in his favor or completely destroy him. Bank transfers, contracts, videos, and emails. He has 72 hours. Editing the truth is not necessary. Millions of fans were enthralled, unable to turn away, and the legal leak turned the story from one of public drama to serious, verifiable exposure. Because while live arguments, social media posts, and viral videos could be written off as theatrics or misinterpretation, a legal document carried an air of legitimacy. By this point, public opinion was sharply divided, with Team Chrisean hailing her as a woman reclaiming her power, exposing years of pain, and possibly protecting others by speaking out. It proved with tangible evidence that the allegations were not merely accusations but grounded in documentation that could withstand scrutiny. Suddenly, the stakes were no longer about who had said what on stage. They were about the tangible misuse of power, control, and money, and the real-world consequences that could follow. Fans, observers, and industry insiders alike were quick to absorb the implications. Chrisean's on-stage accusations, once perceived by some as part of the ongoing spectacle of their toxic relationship, were now corroborated by official records. The betrayal she had endured was no longer just emotional, but systemic, professional, and undeniably verifiable. Every line in the leaked documents reinforced the sense that this was an orchestrated pattern of manipulation, highlighting the extent to which Blueface had constructed a double life, one that had enriched him at the expense of trust, transparency, and fairness in his partnership with Chrisean. In the aftermath, the leak became a defining moment, pivoting the story from celebrity drama into a cautionary tale about exploitation, secrecy, and the hidden machinery behind public personas. It was a bombshell that not only confirmed suspicions, but broadened the scope of outrage, showing how financial betrayal can compound personal betrayal and laying the groundwork for what may be the most significant chapter in both of their lives. By dawn, Blueface tried to counterattack, threatening to reveal the truth through a series of cryptic social media posts and teasing the enigmatic Airbnb footage once more. However, Chrisean was ready, and her response was chilling. A blurry black and white still from what looked like security footage with the caption, "Are you sure you want to play that game?" Fans erupted with speculation. Was this a fragment of the Airbnb video, or something far worse for him? Then came the ultimate twist. At exactly 11:59 p.m., Chrisean updated her YouTube banner with a countdown clock. Bold letters across the screen read, September 15th, 25 entire tapes. No falsehoods, no cuts. The internet went crazy. Questions swirled. Would she release the entire 6 hours of recordings? Would the contracts, receipts, and previously unseen footage finally go public? The stakes were monumental. Blueface was no longer facing mere career damage. He was staring down potential legal ruin. The countdown had begun. By September 15th, the whispered truths would become undeniable, screamed across the world. The cliffhanger was brutal. Either Blueface releases the Airbnb footage first and risks global condemnation, or Chrisean drops the full tapes, ending his career once and for all. Time was ticking, and the world held its breath. If everything revealed so far has shaken, Blueface to his core, what lies ahead could completely obliterate his world. This is far beyond a simple feud, gossip, or another messy chapter in their turbulent saga. Chrisean Rock has taken control of the narrative, seized the stage, and delivered revelations that have shattered the carefully curated image Blueface has hidden behind for years. The leaked texts, the secret payments, the recordings, and now, the ticking countdown to September 15th all point toward one inevitable conclusion: the endgame. The burning question remains: what happens next? Will Blueface gamble everything by releasing the Airbnb footage first, hoping to take Chrisean down with him? Or will Chrisean follow through on her promise, unleashing the full 6 hours of recordings that could not only destroy his career but also potentially land him in serious legal trouble? And the most chilling thought: what if there are even deeper, unrevealed secrets lurking on either side? This is no longer a debate about who is messy or unstable. It has evolved into a battle over power, survival, and control of the truth. Now it is your turn to weigh in. Are you standing with Chrisean, supporting her as she exposes the system that profited from her pain? Or are you still siding with Blueface, believing another side of the story has yet to surface? Share your thoughts in the comments and do not hold back. Your voice matters in this blazing argument, so if you think the truth always comes to light, make sure to hit the like button. If you subscribe and enable notifications, you won't miss a second of this growing drama, because everything might change on September 15th.